this is my second attempt at filming this because I was filming it and apparently I reached my size limit, so hopefully I deleted a couple things. Hopefully it'll be better this time, but let's try to make it quick. It was okay. The last take was kind of all over the place. I forgot my organizational system that I usually use. So I'm going to go through trades, then I'm going to go to single issues, and then manga. So yes, I haven't done a comic haul in a while because I hadn't been getting as much, but in August I guess I kind of went crazy. Good almost half of this, probably like 30-40%, is gifts, and the rest is just me having no impulse control. So, I'm going to start off with Marvel, because that's usually what I get the most of anyway, because they're my favorite publisher. So, first here, I have a gift from my mom. This is The Amazing Spider-Man, Big Time, by Dan Slott. This is Volume 1. And, yes, I basically just wanted to get into more Spider-Man. Spider-Man was like the first comics I ever grew up with, and then so I feel like I haven't been reading any in a while, and I really liked the art style to this one, and Black Cat is on the cover, which is always promising because I always like the stories with her and Spider-Man. Then at Second and Charles, this was on clearance for $2, and so I picked it up. It is The Amazing Spider-Man New York Stories, and from the title, since it's stories, it's you can kind of tell that it's a bunch of short stories by different artists and different writers put together. Like, the art styles vary very widely. It goes from like this to like this, and yeah, it's a nice little like jumble of all different kinds of styles and stories. So I feel like those are kind of necessary when it comes to trying to get more into and have more of a variety of a certain character. Anyways, my sister was kind of purging some of her stuff, and she has a big bind-up that has the first 3 trades put together, so she was getting rid of some of the trades, and I asked if I could take this one. This is the second one of the Anita Blake series from the Guilty Pleasures storyline. By Laura K. Hamilton and other people. Laura K. Hamilton originally had the novel series of Anita Blake, and the first one is called Guilty Pleasures, and I guess she just decided to expand on that and make them into comics. And I always thought that the art style of like Anita was like so gorgeous. She's a vampire hunter, and it's kind of like what you're going to get with like an urban fantasy novel, but in this like gorgeous comic format. So I figured I could read the first one from my sister, because she owns the first volume, and then just read the one that I own now. Then I bought this one because I have another one from it, and I was surprised to figure out that it's Marvel, and yes, this is Beavis and Butthead, Holidazed and Confused. This is basically 4 short holiday stories of the Beavis and Butthead comics put together. So it's going to take me a while to read it because I'm going to do it like where in October I'm going to read the Halloween story, November the Thanksgiving, December the Christmas, and February the Valentine's Day one. And I love the art. I love Beavis and Butthead so much. And so it's basically what you usually get with the show. If you like the show, you'll love the comics. It's really good. And yeah, it's pretty cheap. It's really old. And I seen it and I couldn't leave it there. So yes. Then next I have 2 volumes from Image Comics. First here we have a pretty new one, and that is Snot Girl by Brian Lee O'Malley. I have quite a few of the single issues here that are in this one, and I usually don't pick up the trade if I have a good amount of the single issues, but it's just so gorgeous. And if you guys don't know what Snot Girl is about, it is basically about a fashion blogger named Lottie, who kind of has problems with her sinuses and stuff, ergo Snot Girl, and it's a very cute, beautifully drawn contemporary kind of comic, but it kind of also takes on a murder mystery vibe, and she's a very fun person's head to be in, and so and the art is gorgeous. Like, I feel like even if I didn't care for the story much, I'd probably still be into it because of the art, but the story is actually pretty addicting. And then I have What Was a Gift from My Sister. This is Invincible Family Matters Volume 1 by Robert Kirkman, and who is, if you're living under a rock, the writer of The Walking Dead. And so I have a couple random issues of the series, and then I also had the Image First, which I read the Image First of it, and I loved it so much. And it is, you know, it's basically like your very cute and quirky coming of age comic story about like a guy who figures out he has powers and stuff like that. And so it's really cute. His family has powers as well, so it kind of reminds me of Hero by Perry Moore, the novel, but like not gay. Yes, and the art is really cute. It's really fun, and I wanna get into it more. So I was really excited because there's so many issues of that series that now I have a trade at least to kind of start diving in. And then next from Dark Horse, I only have, this is my last trade that I have. I freaked out when I saw this at Second and Charles. This is The Guild, Volume 1 by Felicia Day from The Guild, and Jim Rugg. And it's basically the Guild, the TV show series kind of thing, is about, if you've never heard of it, a group of online gamers who have like a guild, like a team that they kind of work together with, and then they all have like their little characters. Like this is, why am I blanking on her name? Sid. And she has like a character that she controls, and she kind of has this group of people that she works with like the game, and then it's kind of the drama of their lives, and you also get to see things like while they're in the game, and the art is precious. Like, I love it so much. I don't know if it's a continuation of the show or if it's like just like kind of episodes from the show turned into a comic, but I've had binge watched like all 6 seasons, I believe there are, and so I had always wanted this because I knew it existed, and they had the first 2 volumes there, so I'm going to read this to kind of validate picking up the second one, even though I just want to do it right now. So yes, those are all the trades. Single issues. Let's try to get through this quick. We're gonna go from ones that I have like the least of to all the way up to Marvel, because, you know, Marvel. Here I only have one single issue Image comic. This is Phonogram, The Immaterial Girl. This is issue 1 out of a 6-issue, like, kind of short series. I don't know anything about this except that I loved the cover, and that it takes place in the 80s, I believe. And I love the kind of aesthetic and style of the 80s, so I wanted to see if that was cute, and it was 50 cents. So, yep, that's about the end of the story from that. Then, when I lived in Miami a little while ago, I went to Tate's, and I seen this gorgeous cover that looked like this. This is from IDW, by the way. This is Groom Lake. And I wanted to know more about it, and it's basically, I haven't read these yet, because I also found issue 2. They were each $1, and I just love these covers so much, and I know that I'm going to love it, like the series, when I start reading it. It is basically a guy who gets kidnapped by aliens, and then when he comes back, he is stuck inside the body of an alien. And that's all I know, and that's all I need to know that I'm going to love it. Yes. So then I have a random, also from IDW, and also, ironically, Aliens. This is a one-shot. This is the only one that I spent full price on of the single-issue comics. This is the X-Files Funko Universe, and I was in love with this because usually they made a lot of comics that have, like, pop covers, like, that are in the pop Funko art style, but then when you open it, it's just a regular comic. But if you go here, this, it's the entire thing. It makes them look like pops, and it's just precious. I love the art so much, and yeah, it's a bunch of little short stories put into one, and I've read a good handful of them, and they're really cute and quirky. Next, we're almost done. We just have Archie-related comics. I believe that this one is published under Dark Horse, but I still keep it with my Archie comics because it's all of the characters in the Archie world. This is Afterlife with Archie, volume issue 3. Not a lot of people know about this series because they tend to know the kind that is like very regular, average contemporary digest, like, or because you got a lot of people coming out of the woodwork because Riverdale exists now, they know the kind of more modern day art style version of Archie. This one is very dark and gritty and different from those kinds. It's a kind of what if the zombie apocalypse came to the town of Riverdale, and I love it so much. It is so good. I have the first 2 single issues in storage, and so I picked up issue 3. And then the other Archie-related comic I have is from the new series. I kind of only have like the first 2 or 3 issues. I'm kind of all over the place with the new Archie, but this was 50 cents, I believe, and the cover is gorgeous. I'm in love with it so much. So I needed to get it, because why not? And then, lastly, for the single issues, I have Marvel. I have here a really old issue of the Spectacular Spider-Man. This is issue 168. I love Spider-Man, as you've seen in the trades, and my favorite comic book character of all time is She-Hulk. And I love their dynamic when they are together, and so I'm excited to kind of get into this. And, lastly, if you've seen any of the kind of videos I've been posting lately, I have gotten really into Star Wars lately. And so I needed to get the books because I love books. And so, of course, a thing that I also really needed to get was the comics. So I went through the kind of cheaper bins of the single issue comics at the comic shop, and I found these, and they were both 50 cents each, so I just got them. They were mainly cover buys, because I just wanted something in my collection that was comic related and of Star Wars, but this one is luckily issue 1. This is Kanan, don't kill me, The Last Padawan, and this is a exclusive cover for Books A Million / Second and Charles. And yes, I love Darth Vader, so I'm excited to get into this one. And this one is issue 4 of Star Wars Darth Vader, and this was purely the cover because it's issue 4. It's really random and out of order, but it's just so gorgeous. So I needed it in my life. Oh my god. Yes, okay. And now I just have the manga. First here I have from Seven Seas Publishing, I guess. I'm not too familiar with some manga publishers, more regular comics I know. But this is, again, by Saburita. This is Citrus, Volume 2. The covers make it look so inappropriate, but it's not. It's really cute, and it's basically about 2 girls who go to this all-girls boarding school. This is the president of the school, and this is a new girl who is a new student, and they kind of interact, they like each other, and they had never met before, and then upon meeting, because the blonde girl and her family just moved to that area, they find out that their parents have just gotten married, and they had never met before, and they find out now that they are stepsisters, and it's kind of very dramatic, very Gossip Girl if it was gay and Asian, and I love it. Oh, I did not even do that on purpose. Interesting segue. Speaking of Gossip Girl, this is a Volume 1 by Yen Press, I know Yen Press, of Gossip Girl. It's called For Your Eyes Only, and it is by a name that I would butcher, and Cecily von Ziegesar, who wrote the Gossip Girl books that I have read before. I've read the books, I love the show, and I had the manga, and for whatever reason, I think, like, I wanted a book that my sister had, and I traded this with her. Like, the art is gorgeous, by the way, but I traded this with something else, and then I regretted it, like, the second I did it, and for years I regretted giving this to my sister, and she, like I said, she was purging some of her stuff, and she realized she didn't want this, she wasn't going to read this, and she knew that I really wanted it back, so she gave it back to me. So it is now in my collection, being all beautiful, and yes, those were all these trades, single issues, and manga, all the comic-related stuff that I have gotten in the past month. I haven't read a majority of it because I've been busy with school and trying to watch the Clone Wars before they take it off Netflix, and trying to read, and it's hard to do, like, have time to, like, watch stuff, do school, write, read different forms of stuff, and, like, game and stuff. There's no time to do it all in a month. But yeah, that's basically it. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you want to see more of my face, and my comics and books and whatever the hell else I might talk about. Bye.